The David Pakman Show at davidpakman.com.
Welcome to the bonus show. I'm very sick. If you're watching, I might look like Rudolph with a red nose because I've got this roll of toilet paper here that I've been using to blow my nose. My nose is way too runny to even appear on the regular show.
Right.
And this is a bit more laid back, so here I am. I think I've gone through about half the roll so far in about an hour to an hour and a half. And it's just a truly incredible amount of mucus that my membranes are producing.
Now, you probably should not have been out last night, right?
Well, I don't think I'd be any better off.
Right. Other people might be, though. Like if I get sick tomorrow.
Perhaps.
Yeah.
But here we are in the studio every day anyway. So,
here we are.
Yeah, you can't really avoid me. Anyway, let's move on. I'll try to get through this. I just saw this story about rideable luggage. So this is like just a high-tech suitcase with all the features, USB charging and whatever, all the good stuff. But you can also sit on it and ride it and steer it, and it reaches speeds of up to 8 miles per hour. There's an Indiegogo campaign with early bird pricing at $995.
Interesting.
For
a single piece of luggage.
A single piece of luggage, but one that you can ride. And some of these airports are pretty big, you know.
Yeah, the thing is, I love the idea, and I think it'd be cool to zoom around an airport in one of these, but when I'm traveling, often those days, I'm getting very, very limited physical activity, so I actually take advantage of, like, I never even walk on the moving sidewalks in airports. I'll walk the entire thing, so that at least altogether, getting onto a plane, getting off the plane, whatever, I get, a couple miles of walking in, ideally. That's sort of my move there.
Yeah, well, I mean, I enjoy that too. I don't want to be sitting down before a flight, but I mean, this is just it's an option for people who want that.
Yeah.
It's TSA and FAA approved, which is noteworthy because hoverboards, or at least not the hoverboards I'm about to talk about, but the ones that have wheels that don't actually hover at all, are banned.
You can't get through security with them.
Yeah, you can't get through security with them. You can't ride them around in an airport. They're a no-go. This weighs about 19 pounds. Because of, I'm guessing that's with nothing in it.
Yeah.
Because of, well, it has to have a motor and all that stuff. But anyway, it is interesting, and it does seem like something that should exist anyway. I'm not going to say that it's completely frivolous and unnecessary.
Which you do about most things.
Yeah, that's true. So that's really saying something. I will not be contributing to the Indiegogo campaign, but it's out there. And you maybe that's something you're interested in and you want to do that.
I have a Samsonite bag.
I have a Samsonite backpack, and the thing is how old at this point? 13 years old.
Right.
I've been using it regularly the whole time, and it's held up. So I'm sure the suitcases are just as good.
Yeah, I mean, mine gets bashed around a lot because as you know, Lewis, I carry on, and carrying on. Sometimes when you check the luggage, it gets tossed around, but carrying on and off, I'm like moving it all around. I have it with me at the airport way, way longer. It gets wheeled around miles more than it would if I just checked it when I first got to the airport.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, it's still, I'm happy with it, I have to say.
Well, that's great. That's what we want you to be happy.
Thank you.
A defense tech firm is buying a company behind this jet-powered hoverboard, and perhaps you've seen the video. It is a quite a piece of technology here.
Yeah.
And you can see someone basically flying around as if they had a jetpack, but they're on this board, and it is real, and it has just been purchased by this tech firm, and it's not clear what they want to do with it. Implant Sciences is the name of the company that bought Zapata Industries, the company behind the hoverboard, and Implant Sciences. They haven't really been making implants, as it might sound, but making machines that can detect explosives is a big part of their of what they do, And many of those have been sold to the TSA.
Right.
TSA coming up again in the bonus show this time, and I'm just picturing like soldiers with rifles flying around on these things in a battlefield. That's all I can really think of when I hear that a defense technology firm has purchased this.
Yeah, my mind goes to military also. Wouldn't there be, I've seen the video of this, and wouldn't there be just huge problems as far as we already see problems with drones, you know? And if you, I guess there's just going to have to be a whole new set of rules and laws around this type of technology if it becomes mainstream at all.
Yeah, no doubt. This is, I'm sure this one is going to be pretty expensive, and it's certainly things could get messy when you start using these in residential areas or around airports or in cities or whatever. But it does have plenty of, there are plenty of applications other than just military and blowing shit up and nefarious stuff.
For sure.
I mean, I could now picture some cameraman with a steady cam on one of these things.
Yeah.
And they say that there is quite a bit of training that needs to go into using these.
Oh, I'm sure.
Yeah. It's not just a toy you can hop on. And I don't remember how many hours exactly, but it is a substantial amount of time.
And I'm guessing also that this is expensive to use, right? In terms
Yeah.
of fuel.
Yeah, it's got to be. Yeah, this is not some cheap thing. No, nothing about this is easy or cheap or anything like that. Not like those wheeled hoverboards that
Right.
are a joke. But anyway, it also seems that there's like an apparatus with this cable going up, and you have a backpack, and you have some type of thing in your hand. And I'm not sure exactly how you control this thing, but watch the videos. It is really quite interesting.
Yep, absolutely.
Good stuff. All right. I have really sad news. Really, really sad news here. The last ever Japanese VCRs are going to be made this month. And like Dave said on the regular show, you may be pretty shocked that they're still being produced. And I'm not really sure why they're still being produced.
I mean, I can understand it feeling obvious, like, of course they're no longer going to produce VCRs, but what you have to consider is think about all the VHS tapes that are out there. Now they are stopping production of VCRs. So to the extent that those VHS tapes are not going to be converted onto digital media in some way, there is going to be a continued decrease of the number of players on the planet that are able to play VHS tapes. So to a certain extent, it is a big thing because for so long, VHS tapes were the way movies were distributed, etc. So yeah, nobody really is using them anymore for anything new. But if you have stuff on VHS tapes, the clock is now officially sort of ticking to, if you want to keep that material, digitize it, because they are not going to be producing more VCRs.
Mm-hmm. So the company Funai Electric is a company that makes their own electronics, but they also handle production for bigger companies. And they are the only ones producing VCRs, and that will end at the end of this month.
Right.
Funai had been producing VCRs in China for Sanyo, who sold them in the U.S. and other markets. They produced their first VCR in 1983 and sold as many as 15 million a year at one point.
Right.
Now, this next number is going to shock you. Last year,
Shock
they still
and
sold,
appall.
Huh?
Shock and appall.
Shock and appall. Last year, they still sold 750,000 of them.
That's surprising. Yeah, that's surprising.
But that's not enough to keep it going, apparently. And that number, of course, will get smaller every year.
Yep.
So it's sad, and that's what's going on now. The great thing about VCRs, though, was that how easy it was to copy things.
Yeah, although the quality would go down with every copy.
Yes, that is true. But let me take this opportunity to make a recommendation. A recommendation that I predict will be part of the regular show once Dave watches the documentary.
Okay.
But it's on Netflix and I'm sure in other places. It's called Chuck Norris versus Communism. And it's about communist Romania and how there became this massive black market in Romania, basically headed by one man, black market of Western movies, and how the influence of these bootleg tapes that were dubbed all over by like one woman,
Right.
changed the country. And it is an amazing documentary.
It's on my Netflix queue. I have not yet gotten to it.
It has to be the next one you watch. It has to be.
Well,
It's
I'm
so
halfway
good.
through a few right now that I need to wrap up, but I will get to it relatively soon.
It is so good.
What were the things with VHS? Like I remember with Nintendo, sometimes you had to take the games out and blow on them to get dust out of them for the Nintendo to read it correctly.
Yeah.
What were the equivalent thing with VHS tapes that had to be done?
Well, sometimes the physical tape itself would get snagged or twisted, and you might have to, or sometimes caught in the machine. Like you pull it out, and out comes the tape, and it's like, pulling the thread of a sweater. You can't.
Right.
But you might have to open it up and kind of readjust or align it, and it was just so primitive when you think about it.
Yeah, absolutely. In retrospect.
It really was. But lots of good memories of my Michael Keaton, Jack Nicholson Batman VHS tape.
Yeah. That's the first movie I ever saw after we moved to the United States in 1989.
Setting the bar high.
My family went and got a VCR, I remember. I think it was at like the Electronics Center on Damon Road in Northampton, Massachusetts.
Wow.
And we got the VCR, and then the first movie we rented, then I believe it was at Blockbuster. This was 1990 probably, or maybe not. I think the movie is from 89 or 90, and I think we got the VHS in 90 or 91. The VCR rather. The first movie was Batman with Michael Keaton and Jack Nicholson. Love the movie. Fantastic movie. And I've seen the movie probably 100 times since.
Yep. It's a good one. The VHS I watched the most by far was Cliffhanger with Sylvester Stallone.
Yeah, I've never seen it.
Loved it as a kid. My brother loved it. We probably at one point had just about every line memorized. And there's one I haven't seen in a while.
Yeah.
I don't need to because I saw it 1,000 times.
Yeah.
All right. That's it. I got through it.
Thank you.
I'm going to have to go blow my nose right now.
The David Pakman Show at davidpakman.com.